Hello there. Well, I thought I'd throw on an update because I was updosing and I went back to my quarter of a milligram dose um, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Friday. And yeah, it was a little bit difficult, but Wednesday I had such a good day that I went to sleep without taking anything all day. And I cut up a pill or cut it in half, and I told myself, like, well, this hydroxyzine doesn't make me sleep through the night, or if I wake up in withdrawal, then I'll take half a pill. But if I can sleep through the night, then I'll see how the morning goes and see what I feel like. And sure enough, I slept for about 2 hours and woke up and had to take my quarter milligram. Woke up with my stomach all messed up and just feeling bad. And what I think it was is I think the updosing, the amount of stuff I had in my system from before had just got out of my system, because it leaves your system pretty quickly, but not instantly when you stop taking alprazolam or Xanax. So, anyways, I just took like half a pill. Um, I got 1:45 p.m., so it'd be about 1:40, and I'm not happy about that. I just feel pretty lousy today, and tonight I'll try to go to sleep without taking another half a pill, which would be double my dose, and take the hydroxyzine and see how it goes. But yeah, I had some kindling effect from the weekend, from last weekend, and upping my dose. So I don't feel all that great on a quarter of a milligram yet. Uh, but yeah, let's see how it goes. I just saw a drug deal take place outside my house. I'm not too happy about that, and I'm old enough to know what one looks like. So yeah, new guy in the building, and I was like the people up are citizens, upstanding citizens above me, and then this other guy. There's only 4 units in my building, and this other guy, new guy's been like a ghost, and I'm like, well, that's cool. I don't even hear the guy. I barely see him. But now I just saw a drug deal take place outside my house. He went out there and sat in his vehicle. The vehicle pulls up behind him. The passenger gets out. He's got the haggard face of a meth addict or a crack addict, and he's all skinny and walking not too good and shit. And then so he goes around, sits in the car with the dude for about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. Then he goes back and gets in his car, and then the dude's walking in the porch, and because of the way the blinds are set up, I don't see it, but it actually looked like he was counting out the money as he was walking. It's like he's a bad drug dealer if that's the case, if he's counting out the money as he's walking into the house, unless it's a trusted clientele. And people just like to count money. So unless he trusts the guy, you don't count the money after they leave. Count the money before they leave. So, anyways, that's not cool. Um, as far as the way I feel about living in a building with drug dealers, I've done that a few times, and as long as they're professional, but they're never professional, you know. It's like, why in the fuck are you doing a drug deal in front of the place where you live? There's a parking lot to a church like 2 blocks away. And I'm not like 1,000% sure I just witnessed a drug dealer. I'm like 95% sure that that's what that was. Because, if somebody comes to see you, maybe the guy couldn't climb the steps or whatever, but who the hell visits somebody for 5 minutes in a car? You heard my description. I don't have to repeat myself. Uh, but yeah, it's like, that looks an awful lot. And you know, I've had drug dealers living here before, and I've lived in bad neighborhoods most of my life. Except for the first 20 years of my life, I lived in bad neighborhoods. So I've seen a lot of them. And yeah, I just always wonder. It's like, why in the hell are you shitting where you're eating? Like, do your business. There's like parking lots. There's other places you can go. Just don't do business in front of the house. You, the illegal drug trade thing, that's never going to stop. But it's like, why don't people have more sense about it? You know. So now I'll be looking for that dude. And I actually saw somebody that came into the building when we had actual crack dealers, in the building, and they were counting the money out on the porch. Man, I got so mad I had to control myself, and I'm like, I wanted to confront the dude, and I don't know what the hell I would have said to him, but I really got mad, so I had to not only not get mad, because I'm not allowed to do that. I had to chill out. I had to call my landlord to redirect what anger I had left and tell him about it. And I said, this dude's counting out the money on the porch like he's walking into a McDonald's, gonna get a hamburger. And I know they were crack dealers because I know people that have been in the city for a long time, and they knew them, and they probably bought off them, frankly. And I saw them lighting up on the porch at like 2 a.m. I seen the bowls firing up, and you don't smoke weed in a glass bowl. And I mean, you can, but weed, you don't light weed like that. I know the difference between how you light crack and how you light weed. I never stupid enough to fuck with crack, but I've seen people smoke crack and I've seen people smoke weed, and they were smoking crack on the porch at 2 a.m. Pretty brazen. But yeah, I got all kinds of stories about them people, man. That's the girl that threw the TV. There was an old-fashioned box TV, I would say about a 23-inch TV, maybe 21-inch TV. And this is a little tiny person. It's a little tiny person, but I don't know that because it's like 0 degrees outside and they're all bundled up. And they're yelling and screaming in the hallway like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, this person's off the chain. I can't repeat what they were saying, but they said something really funny, but I don't, my language is foul enough, but they said something really funny. But anyways, I look out there and I'm like, I ain't going out there. That person is out of their damn mind. I thought it was a dude, right? I just spoiled my own story, but I thought it was a dude. So I'm like, I'm getting nowhere near that guy, man. That guy is crazy, And then I'm looking out the peephole into the hallway, and he picks up a 21-inch TV, like a box TV. He throws that thing like 12 feet in the air up towards the landing of the person that they're yelling at, and it hits and then hits the floor and explodes like a bomb. And it like left a gouge in the wood and stuff that I showed my landlord later. Anyways, like I said, I spoiled my own story. Later, I found out I felt like a big old chicken. Like that was a woman. That was like it was like about 100-pound woman, all bundled up in like winter clothes and stuff. And she had like a deep voice and was like yelling and screaming. And she was she is a lesbian. If that makes any difference to the story, but that's what she was. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, that was pretty good. That's like like them strongman events where they're like throw poles over their shoulders, or they're like throwing rocks and throwing weird stuff. I mean, she did really good with that TV because that thing wasn't light, and she got that thing up about 12 feet. That's pretty impressive. And then that was so loud that nobody in the building called the police. The neighbors called the police, and it was 0 degrees outside and 3 o'clock in the morning, and it happened inside my building. It happened inside my building, and the neighbor in the house beside me called the police. I was like, that's when you know it's a loud fight. I don't know why, I didn't call the police just because at that point I just don't do that. I did call the police on them once, and that was only because the one lesbian beat the hell out of the other lesbian, and I heard it, but I didn't call the police. So then when I found out, I didn't know that somebody was getting beat up, but when I found out that somebody was getting beat up, then I was like, the next time I heard a fight, I called the police, and all that happened was one cop came, knocked on the door, and said, I need to see everybody in there to make sure everybody's all right. I need to see your faces. And he looked at their faces, and then he left. And then he started fighting 15 minutes after the cop left, louder than ever, man. 2:30 in the morning. Yeah. So hey, the guy is quiet. The drug dealer guy is quiet. By the way, that's a hell of a downer I put on my own story, like spousal abuse. It went from a funny story from throwing a TV into spousal abuse. So yeah, I told that story badly. But anyways, so yeah, that's like the only thing I did today was witness what I think is a drug deal, and watch a movie and sit around and brood. And I don't feel good. I don't know how much of that, I can never tell how much of that is CRPS or how much that is the withdrawal or what. I can tell the withdrawal feelings because you feel kind of like you got the cold or the flu, and then you're super edgy, and I'm all of that. And my leg isn't working too good today as far as walking on it. It's like it's not good. But what can you do? You just take it one thing at a time. I wish I could just focus on getting off Xanax, and that would be my only thing. But life goes on. I mean, I live alone. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then I got to deal with all these people in my life that are annoying. And anybody's annoying, even when they're not being annoying. If you know what I mean. When you're in withdrawal, it's just like anything can get on your nerves. You want to fucking choke a bluebird for chirping outside your window. But yeah, I felt really good on Wednesday because I got I had some of the nonsense. Like, I confronted the person that owed me the $150. If you can call asking them what's up, a confrontation, but it did make me feel better. Then this other thing that I had going on, I saw the person and I'm like, well, I can't really resolve that one, but I don't seem to feel any particular resentment or hatred over it. So that was cool. So I don't need to be feeling those things. And so yeah, I felt better. That's why on Wednesday I had such a good day, is because I did that. And then I have like a therapist, and I had a good session with my therapist, and didn't really get nothing accomplished with her really, as far as she acts as my case manager in a way, because my case manager is just an incompetent person from my health insurance. She's just like an incompetent person. So she does some of the case manager type chores, like try and look out for me and stuff. So we didn't really do nothing but talk. But yeah, I felt really good Wednesday, so that's why I was like, I'll try to go to sleep without having taken any Xanax for the whole day. And I did. I managed to go to sleep, which was, even doing that's pretty good. None of the drug you're addicted to for the whole day, and then you manage to go to sleep. So that was good. I mean, I woke up in a couple hours, but I did manage to go to sleep. And I took my half a pill after I woke up, and then slept okay. And then I took just the half a pill for that day, and that was an okay day. I didn't feel great, but today I just went ahead and took the pill early because I don't feel good. And yeah, there's only so much you can do. You can only push yourself so far. It just takes time with benzos. It's just, you have to be patient. It just takes time. I don't have a psychological thing, so it's different when you have a psychological thing where you positive you can't function without, or the pills nag at you like take me or whatever. It's like my smoking thing is a completely psychological addiction, and somehow that's worse. Because I can't, if I'm around somebody that's smoking, the only way to keep me from smoking is if they were stingy and didn't give a cigarette and started a fight. They would probably start a fight. Or if I just walked away or just left. A couple of times I refused social engagements because I was like, there's just going to be too much smoking being done there, and I'm kind of powerless with that. So that's a psychological thing, and this is a physical thing. I'm talking way too fast. I don't know if that's the cup of coffee I drank, or the fact that I'm all nervous and stuff. And all scattershot too. I could have made a good story out of that thing with the TV and the lesbians and all that. Her street name was Red. That's the only name I ever knew her by, was Red. And she didn't have red hair. So she could throw the hell out of a TV though. But yeah, that cracked me up. The next day, it's like I had maybe 80 pounds on her, and 8 inches or 10 inches of height, and I was scared of her because she was just out of her head, nuts. And who knows, what chemicals she was on, or what the deal was. But yeah, I was scared of her before she threw the TV. Anybody would be scared after she threw that TV, because I was like, that was pretty impressive. But I was scared before. I was like, nope, not going out there. Because I had a situation where there was a guy knocking on the door upstairs, and just waking everybody up in the building. And I went out there and confronted that dude, and he was a full-grown dude, bigger than me. But I kind of knew the dude, and I was like, I don't know, I just felt brave or whatever. But I was like, hey, dude, he had a fight with his woman. I'm like, she ain't answering the door. You done woke up everybody in this fucking building, man. You need to stop this. She's not going to answer that door. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, and he apologized and left almost immediately. But that time there, I was like, this person's crazy, and you don't want to mess, as the expression goes, you don't want to mess with crazy, because yeah, anything can happen. You're dealing with, I knew they were drug dealers, and I knew they were street people, and you get cut, you get stabbed, you have people come back to get you. You just don't want nothing to do with any of that. So that wasn't. It's still, I felt like since it was a woman, I should have stepped out there and said something to her, anyways. Even with all that logic behind it, like that they're drug dealing, possible street. There's definitely street things, but it's a possible thug. You might be going out there confronting woman or not, and if she can't get somebody to get you, she'll get somebody to get you. So even with all that, I felt like a coward the next day, because I was like, oh my God, that was red. I was like, she was just all bundled up because it was 0 degrees out, and I didn't recognize her. I didn't really know her or had much interaction with her. But, I didn't recognize it as a woman's voice. It was just so deep. And maybe that's all that smoking gave her that. I'm trying to think of the woman from Romancing the Stone that got a deep voice when she got older. Or, I don't know. Can't think of an example of a woman with a deep voice from smoking. But anyways, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to make a long video. I know I said that before, but I'm definitely not going to make one this time. I got a phone call to make, and I got to do something with my knee and move around on it, and I don't know. Try to get it to not be like it is. I don't know what to do about that, or if I can do anything about that. But yeah. So yeah, I went back to, from up dosing, I went back to a 1/4 milligram. And today I took mine early, though, so that doesn't mean, I'm going to stay sober tonight. My plan is to, there's some good sporting events. I'm in Ohio, so I got the Indians game and I got the Cavs game. So my plan is to watch the Cavs game while I record the Indians game. And then after the Cavs game, take a hydroxyzine and try to go to sleep. And then maybe, I can sleep through the night. And if I can sleep through the night, that's cool. But if I wake up in a couple hours feeling miserable, it takes as long as it takes. Benzo's is one of the hardest kicks there is, and it just takes so long. The depredations it does to you, it's like a system-wide thing. Like you feel sick from your head to your toe. I also got this thing from my tooth being, my surgeries, I still got like some discomfort from that. It's like here, and it's like goes up into my eye and stuff, and it's just like a feeling of pressure. And I don't know what that's about. If that's just, that has to heal or whatever. But yeah, I'll report in a couple of days and let you know how it goes, and maybe I can tell a better story. I got a lot of funny stories, but I don't always have the skill and the ability to tell them. Anyways, alrighty. Hope you're all doing better than I am. Always wish well on people. There's nothing wrong with that. You even wish well on people that are bad people, because maybe if they have some good fortune, they'll stop being such assholes. Alright, bye-bye.